What up, Junkies? Welcome to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. We are, we're back with another great episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the Saturday mornings that we all knew and loved, that we grew up with, that we had a lot of fun time with. So we're going to reminisce about that. We're going to also talk about the Disney remakes and all this other kind of stuff. We're also going to give you our thoughts on, Spider-Man. Far From Home, and give you our full thoughts now that it's been out for over a week. So introducing who's going to be on the show with me today, Mr. GQ. How you doing, my friend?
Well, I am doing well. I am enjoying life here in the can't even really call it a dungeon anymore. It's too well decorated and too much comfort. So I'm just gonna enjoy life out here, and obviously we're gonna be talking about some Saturday morning cartoons, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, absolutely it will. By the way, bonus points to anybody who can actually name the music that is playing right now. Bonus points. Also on the show is the great Dadakuchi. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fabulously green like I normally do. How about you?
I'm good. Ready to talk about Saturdays. I want to say hi to all our junkies out there. Q's in the chat. Want to say what's up to you. Birdie Kurosagi Belladonna, what's up to you as well. Akil Jesfu Brewer, nice to see you back again. Glad you could join us. Got your junk food ready for this one? Hey, so do I. Got my box of crunch berries ready. I think I'm gonna pour me a bowl of cereal and get ready to eat it. Definitely. D1 Davis is joining us in the chat on Facebook as well. Way to see you. And our top fan, Tony Young, is also in the chat. So anybody got any guesses as to what the music is that's playing right now? Do you guys got any guesses?
Oh, I know exactly what it is. It's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the NES game. It sounds like a remix, most definitely.
But, I ain't gonna do no originals. I got to do a remix and and throw you guys off a little bit.
Man, that's not really a throw off. I mean, it's obviously the Turtles music, though.
I mean, come on, man. It's not a straight up song. I mean, yeah, it plays the beat, but it throws in a little bit in there. So Tony Young said sewer surfing, and that's exactly the one. No, it's actually in the sewers. It says so. I don't think that was sewer surfing. I don't think that was sewer surfing level, was it? Was it sewer surfing level? I don't remember. I don't think it was. But dude, remember how hard that?
You don't even know the answer.
No, because the title might not be the same. It says it's TME. It says TMNT in the sewers. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the sewer surfing level. Anyway, doesn't matter. We hope you all had a great week, a great Fourth. Did everybody I had 5 days off for the Fourth, so it was nice and restful, but it was also really hot. Johnny P over there on YouTube, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you.
I had a few days off. I think I had 3 days off.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was before. Wait. Yeah. Nope. I had to work that weekend. So yeah, I had 3 days off before the Fourth. Worked the day, then was off. No, worked 2 days and then was off. And then whatever.
Anyway, so it's good to see everybody out there. I'm glad you all to join us. If you were looking forward to this show as much as we were, I want you to do us a favor and invite all your friends to join us right here on our Culture Junkies Facebook channel. Or if you are so inclined, I want you to send them the link to YouTube if they really love YouTube as well. Get as many people in here that want to talk about Saturday morning cartoons as possible. So, Fallen Marvel is going to be on the show a little bit later. He's going to be joining. Miao Yin is traveling, so she may or may not join us. But also Super Nerd Plus, who kind of started this whole Saturday morning kick, is going to be on the show eventually at some point. So let's get to it, guys. So this may or may not be up in your wheelhouse. GQ likes to say that everything's in my wheelhouse. I know how to talk about everything under the sun. So let's talk about this. So in genre entertainment right now, like some of the big news, it was the casting about as Halle Berry as Bailey, excuse me, Halle Berry. That's reflex. Halle Bailey as Ariel for Little Mermaid, and of course, racists have lost their minds and are going crazy, like, "Oh my God, you're ruining a Disney favorite. How could you?" and all this other kind of stuff. And at the same time, this week, Mulan also came out. The Mulan trailer came out, and a lot of people are upset that there's no Mushu, there's no songs or anything like that going to be in it. So the question I wanted to ask you guys is, for the Disney remakes, do you remember? Do you prefer new takes on the Disney remakes if they're going to make a remake, or would you rather have the exact faithful copy to the original? Your thoughts?
Who's going first? You going first?
You can go first.
They don't need to do exactly the same. If you want to watch the Disney one, you are free to watch it because they did not destroy all the copies. You can't get rid of it. If you want to be an asshole and think that because somebody is cast that has a natural UV skin protected from the sun inside of their in them is ruining something, then I want to say something that's very crass, but you could just go, jump in a lake. Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's a goddamn fish.
That's the crass part, is go jump in a lake.
I was gonna say something else, and I had my back. I had to edit it to "you go jump in a lake" because it's just it's kind of pathetic. It's kind of pathetic. Black people, all they have is a natural sunscreen. They're no different than anybody else. And you're an idiot if you think that's ruining something because a fictional character was drawn with pale skin. Okay, and whatever. I personally, when it comes to the remakes, I'm not a big fan of them, just because I don't feel like they're actually needed. Because you can always they don't do what they used to do. Remember back in the 80s where they would re-release those movies in the theater? Just the animated ones before they actually started being on a roll, which I guess started in 1989 with The Little Mermaid. I mean, Disney was doing animated stuff well before then, but it just really started to blow up to me more so with Little Mermaid, and then what is it, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, and then it just every year you were getting like a movie with a hit song with a mascot in it and doing all that other stuff. So you can always go back and watch those. I would personally, I guess, rather watch those because just the live action stuff, I just don't have any inclination to go see the live action stuff. That's just me. For all those people who enjoy movies, maybe they want to go see it, and that's cool and dandy. But I wouldn't say anything is ruining anything. I probably will watch the movie and enjoy it. I just not going to go out of my way to watch, like Aladdin came out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care because I like the cartoon Aladdin. I liked it a lot. Liked it so much. I watched the movies back in the day. I used to watch the TV show that came on syndicated all the time. I liked it a lot. This new movie was probably done very well. And will I watch it when Disney's streaming service is in my hands, which it's more than likely going to be on there? I might take a day, sit down and watch it on Disney streaming service. Why not? But I don't feel like I need to go out to the theater to see it. So if you think it's ruining your childhood, then there's something wrong with you because last I checked, you can still get the old stuff and watch it to your heart content, till your eyeballs fall out, till you're friggin', lose more melanin, whatever the fuck. I don't care.
Okay. GQ, let's give your 2 cents on the matter.
Well, let me see. Let me hit the chat for a second. This brewer right over there said that since the masses change, you have to cater to them in a sense, which is very true. I think what people are forgetting is Disney doesn't owe y'all anything. Like, they kind of made their own thing, and yes, the fans are the reason that they have all the money they have, but they don't owe you anything. Like, no explanations. They don't owe you any remakes, any particular remixes, or any of that stuff. They put out what they're gonna put out. It is up to you as a consumer to decide if you're gonna go see it or not. When it comes down to the remix that they have put out, like the first time I saw Beauty and the Beast, the remake, you know, the one with the girl
Emma Stone,
from Harry
not
Potter.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, I
know
the
what you're
girl that
talking
plays
about.
Hermione. Yeah,
Yes,
first time I
her.
saw that was on a plane on the way to LA because it was there. It was like, okay, well, let me check this out. And it wasn't bad. I mean, it's, you know, again, it's like the original film, the original animation was a classic. So it's like,
Right.
okay, well, whatever. They're gonna do their own little live action take on it. Fine. I enjoyed Maleficent, but Maleficent wasn't a remake. It was basically kind of an original story that
Right.
they just, you know, they took and kind of gave her origin story, which I thought was actually kind of cool. And I'm looking forward to the second one that's coming up because I really want to see how dark her turn is going to go. Because I mean, Maleficent still to this day is one of the most devious and evil Disney villains that they've ever come up with. So it'll be fun to see, like, okay, well, she's going to, you know, going to go a little bit darker because you know the other one brought her out as more of a kind of a tragic story, kind of a tragic, you know, not so much hero, but a tragic character. So I mean, I really don't have any problem with them doing the remakes. It's like, look, they're gonna put out what they want to put out because they got the money to do it. End of story. I mean, they don't. Yes, you can be mad that they made Little Mermaid black or they did this or they did. It's like, first of all, they did Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, and I don't remember all this ridiculous outrage and backlash. It might have been there, but I mean, I guess it wasn't as pronounced. But for me, it's like you don't own those properties, so it doesn't matter how outraged you get, how mad you get, unless you own the story, which none of us do. Sit down, shut up, go see it or not, or don't go see it. It's like there's nothing to be up in arms about because the movie's gonna come out whether you want it to or not. I mean, outside of Sonic the Hedgehog getting changed because of the backlash and how he looked, these companies don't have to do shit that you guys want them to do. They gonna keep on pushing. It's a train that you can't stop. So
right.
Get mad, boycott, do whatever. Disney's got 1 billion more of you wherever the hell they are in the rest of the world. They're gonna bring this movie out. So that is what it is.
I have to give props out there to the Junkie Nation. Y'all are showing out in the chat. Appreciate all these comments. Let's read a few before we add Fallen Marvel to the show. So who's saying what? Anything kind of piquing your interest out there?
A lot of people are saying that they want to get some of the stuff like the Rescuers, Treasure Planet, Emperor's New Groove. I think the reason a lot of those don't come up is because they weren't super successful. Like they were okay, they were good for their time, but
right.
They're not like when you think Disney, you think either Mickey Mouse, who obviously hasn't had a movie in decades,
right,
and then you think Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame, like all of those, the more recent stuff they've done. And Mulan, to me, here's why I'm glad Mulan is going to be made the way it's going to be made, because let's be real. If you are in the middle of feudal Japan or wherever, or China or wherever, you're not going to be sitting out there on the battlefield singing songs and having fun.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Like all evidence to the contrary, I guarantee you they weren't out there singing a whole bunch of songs out in the cotton fields. So let's just be real. Like, and Mulan being more serious, I'm all for that. Because again, Mushu was fun for the animation. It was a cartoon. It made it lighthearted. If they're going to go hardcore and make it like a true live action, man, I'm all for that. Make it serious. That'll be interesting to see how they do that.
I have to admit, I really absolutely loved the Mulan trailer. I think the lady that's gonna play it, she was in another really good movie recently. I forget what it was, but I think she's gonna do a fantastic job. I think the casting was really well. I mean, hell, not Donnie Yen, Jet Li's the Emperor. I think I saw. So that's gonna be pretty cool. There's a lot of comments in the chat. Like Grizzly Jones would say, he would 15 over on Twitch. It was like, I would love to see a live action Hercules movie. Now, in a live action Hercules movie, I mean, we've kind of gotten like with The Rock and stuff like that. So I don't think we'd really see one of those.
No, you're gonna see
we've
one because
had
I heard
two.
they're already casting that one.
Well, we've
Because
already had two live
Yeah,
action
we've had two
Hercules
within the
movies,
last
though.
10 years.
that
So
that may be true, and it's not Disney's Hercules.
That's
So
true.
it's they would have a bigger spectacle about it because those Hercules movies came and they went and we saw the Rock one. We were sitting there like, okay, was this movie supposed to actually have Hercules as being somebody that's supernatural or was it not? It's like you couldn't really tell because
I
it
didn't
seemed
like that
it was,
aspect of that movie. I have to
yeah.
admit, I did not like that aspect of the movie. It was like
So
trying to say, is he for real the son of Zeus, or is he just a really strong guy
But
that's
see, I liked it because it took the legend and turned it on its head because it made it work in the sense of the same way like a lot of stuff from the Bible comes off to people. It's like, okay, these stories have been told and retold and handed down and passed down through generations. How did he actually take down the Nemean lion? Oh yeah, he did
right,
it all by himself. No, he had a group of people helping his ass out. I like
right,
that aspect of it because
yeah,
it took what everybody assumes to be true
mm-hmm.
and gave a spin of, okay, here's how it could have been done if this guy is just a guy who just happened to be really damn strong in a
Mm-hmm.
time when a lot of people were small as hell and weren't strong. So I kind of like that idea of that. And again, I'm not saying Disney has to go that route, but that's part of the reason I did enjoy the Hulk's. I'm sorry, not the Hulk, the Rock's
The Rock.
Hercules
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more so than the other one that came out that same year, the Legend of Hercules or whatever the hell it was, because it was just like, okay, at least they're doing a different spin on it. Let me see. Mr. Davis in the chat was saying that he's saying this Mulan is like the other Mulan that came out that was live. I guess it was another live action Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, if they want to take a more serious tone on it, a more serious take on it, fine. I have no problem with that. If they're not going to be out there singing, Measure of a Man or whatever the hell that song was, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Show me more battle sequences. Show me, what her life is like. That's fine.
Paula Marvel, jump in. What's up, bro? How was your weekend?
Let's get down to business and defeat the Huns. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh wow! You just busted out in the song just spontaneously. Isn't that what Disney movies are all about, though? Just busting out in the song spontaneously, in interests like that. Yeah. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Yeah, but in that same vein, they'd catch an arrow in the eye. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, for as far as the Mulan thing, I'm actually kind of surprised they decided to go this route, but at the same time, I think it'd probably be all the better for it because considering that this is a movie based in wartime, it'd be kind of weird to be having random musical numbers like during like training montages or whatever the hell they usually do it with. Mm-hmm. So for them to go this route, I think it's fine. So I mean, it's kind of like what I've been saying earlier this week. Just because they're doing the movie this way does not mean you can't enjoy the original, because that one will always be there. Mm-hmm. So at this point, there's no point for you to cry about it. Okay, so
people love to cry though.
Yeah, they do.
Love to cry.
They do.
Yes,
it's like, look, I have complained about things in the past or whatever the case may be, but look, I'm not that upset to the point where I just wanted to be burned down to the ground and say like, I'm not one of the my childhood people. Okay, it's just like, hey, my childhood will always still be there. The stuff is still documented as it was as the day I first seen it. Mm-hmm. It's just like, hey, I despise the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, but I still got the original one from 1990. I still love it to this day. It still exists. Don't worry about it, okay? Like, my main concern is whether or not the remake itself is going to be good or not, okay? That's my biggest concern. So, for all those folks that's just out there bitching about something they literally have no creative control over, it's hilarious, especially I know you guys were talking about the mermaid thing. I'm just gonna repeat what's already been said. Mermaids don't exist, goddammit. Okay, mermaids are not real. Okay, it's like, look, just like the X-Men don't exist. You ain't got people out here with concussive blasts and telepathy and all that or whatever. Okay, so what? Okay, they're not real. Okay, like her ethnic identity was never a part of her character, so anybody could play Ariel. Okay, anyone can play Ariel. Atlantica, the city under, like, it doesn't matter. Okay, listen. The past year we had Simone Aquaman. Okay, we've had Black Spider-Man. We had Black Deadshot. We've had Black Genie, and so on and so forth. Okay, even Black Adam is going to be well. I mean, I know he's technically African anyway, but you know, Black Adam is basically going to be half black and Samoan. Okay, if at this point stuff like this still bothers you,
Go jump in the lake.
it's like something. Okay, I mean, do something. Okay, just find the nearest plastic surgeon, take that thick stick out of your ass, and just grow up. Okay, it is not detrimental to your life.
Just grow up. I love the way he said that. Just grow up.
That's what was said in our discussion group. It says if Ursula is not cast by a naturally purple person, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna get it this way, man. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
No, I mean, this is and Fallen Marvel hit the nail on the head. It's like they didn't, suddenly just erase the originals of any of this stuff. Right. It's like, people always talk about how Star Wars got ruined. Well, whatever. In my collection, my original Star Wars is only an inch or two away from the new stuff. So I can just move my hand over a little bit to the left and grab the original and watch it and have all that fun, and joy and nostalgia and whatever. But at the same time, I can also watch the new stuff because why not? It's there. Mm-hmm. I own it.
Right.
It's like that's what people seem to forget. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the people that don't have physical copies of stuff and they got to, sort through stuff and figure things out.
You mean the people that waited too long and the copies are locked in the Disney vault forever? Remember how they used to hit us with that every single year?
I had no problem with that, though. That just meant if you wanted it, buy it. That was the ultimate marketing scheme.
Yes, it was.
Literally, it was forced, supply and demand. It was like, okay, we're going to bring this out for a couple months, and then it's going to be back in the vault for years. So if you want your copy, you better go get it now.
Right.
And that was and people would do it. So they've long since abandoned that. Like every single freaking movie, you can get them now because obviously Blu-ray and streaming and all that other sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
But that was genius back in the day. It was
that was great marketing.
There's a lot of people, and it's about to go.
There's a lot of people, and and this kind of be the last comment on this. By the way, Rosie says hi, Chris.
Hi, Rosie.
But there's an element out there that is somewhat accusing Disney of fanning the flames of this for marketing purposes, which I find tacitly ridiculous, but still it's being said.
I wouldn't put it past them. Right, I wouldn't put it past them. I'd do it. Because the thing is, controversy is one of the better things that you can have for stuff. Because it's going to bring out all the haters, and it's going to bring all the people that are going to shout down the haters. Mm-hmm. It's going to sell more tickets. It's going to be like, oh, you're all racist about it? Fine, I'll buy 2 tickets. People do stuff like that. So
yes, they do.
I have zero problem with them doing that because, again, it's fattens my pocket, so I'm good.
Exactly. And I find it funny. Like, it's like, okay, look, if there wasn't any indication that people of color make dollar signs just about in anything, look no further than Black Panther. Look no further than the most recent Aquaman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was those are like 3 of the biggest movies outside of Endgame, like in the past year and a half. Okay, it's like, hey, like that's why I kind of thought it was funny. Because like there was the same stuff when Black Panther came. I was like, oh, what if they would have made Black Panther white? It's like that would be stupid because it's a cultural thing. Like Black Panther can't be anything else but black because he's African. Like,
no, this is white African people. Don't be trying to be all racist.
No.
South Africans.
Hey, they may be white Africans.
Colonizers.
Exactly. They
colonizers.
Their family moved there. The thing about it, even though saying this is dumb as heck, because everybody came from Africa, and it's just those who lost their melanin were in regions where they didn't need their melanin, and that's why they lost it. Those people kind of just moved back, but they just because you move back don't mean you got your melanin back. So
they lost all their mojo and their rhythm, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's what happens. You don't need it in areas where the sun doesn't shine as directly.
You're absolutely right.
We know we don't have to go into that, but it's.
I mean, it's part of the reason
there
why
may be white Africans, but come on. You need melanated. You need a melanated person to be that person, not just because where they're born. It's just somebody that has some natural sunblock.
I mean, do we also need to bring up gods of Egypt?
Please, let's not. Let's not.
Do we have to go there?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. So let's actually
who was in that? It was
the Egyptian
Christian Bale, and who was the other dude?
That was Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Oh,
you're thinking about
Gods of Egypt was an action movie though.
It was, but it's kind of funny when you have someone playing the Egyptian god and they're from Scotland.
I agree, because the only African god that was even in that was Chadwick Boseman's character.
Correct.
But that movie was. But outside of that movie was actually fun. It's like that's what's so weird about it. Like the movie was actually kind of cool, but it's just the casting.
I'm sure it was, but overall, it's just like, bro, like.
Yeah, that movie was a little bit on the weak side though. But yeah,
weak sauce.
Yeah,
but I have it. I don't care.
So let's end on that note and move on to the next topic. So obviously, last weekend for the 4th, can't even technically call it a weekend because it kind of started on Tuesday. But Spider-Man: Far From Home came out last week, and a lot of people have, some people love it. So other people say it's like a mixed bag. I've seen other people kind of hating on the film. They just think it's more MCU flavored tripe. But we kind of briefly talked about it because both GQ and the Great Data Kuji saw it last weekend. I've seen it. Most of the other panel have seen it now. So let's give us our full reactions. So the first question I want to ask you, all of you out there, is how do you feel like Far From Home? After you've seen it, how does it compare to similar MCU films, meaning the second entry in the series? So we're talking like Thor: The Dark World, we're talking Iron Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier. What's your thoughts, guys? Let's start with you, Fallen Marvel, so you can lead off.
Well, me personally, I absolutely love the movie. I think it definitely it improved on what Homecoming did, and the whole point of it was growing Spider-Man as a character and as far as his importance going forward, because they obviously are going to have big plans for Spider-Man as a character. I mean, it's Spider-Man. He's one of the more popular characters Marvel has, and we've seen that time and time again. So it's no surprise, but I do love how they're using the classic villain yet again with Mysterio. I thought they did Mysterio. I thought Mysterio was on point. Most of the thing, pretty much the majority of this stuff they did with him as it relates to the comic book canon or whatever, basically was on point, and I absolutely love that. I think that this is a story that tests Peter Parker as a character and what he wants to do as a hero, and how everything sort of concluded. And I really feel like this is his moment where he has to pull up, put on his big boy pants. So. And, we saw that a little bit in Homecoming, but like he wasn't, he still had steps to go because he was still very much a newbie green child. he's still young, but it's like now it's like, okay, where is he gonna fit in a world of gods, essentially, you know? So I enjoyed the movie for that aspect, as well as some things that they added at the end, which I will not get into because I'm pretty sure we are trying not to spoil it right now. But they did something that was pretty awesome at the end of the movie that honestly I didn't expect, but I am very much glad they did. It pretty much is starting to transition somewhat into a Spider-Man arc that most people complained that wasn't there. Which folks have to, it's like, hey, just learn some patience. They're going to get there. We're doing character development. Like if anything that folks should be privy to by now is that Kevin Feige, MCU, their main thing is character development for the heroes. They halfway through they had to do it with the villains, you know, make more developed villains, but it's like they forget character development is key with Feige and MCU. That's been key. They're not moving away from that anytime soon. And the thing is, with this being another entry, it's honestly, I will go out on a limb and say it's so far definitely like the best Spider-Man in recent years. I will go as far as to say that.
All right, so GQ, give your full thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home.
I don't know. I didn't see it yet.
Quit lying. Stop doing that. You've already seen it 3 times, I'm sure.
No, they did an amazing job with this movie. What I enjoyed about it is they got a lot of the people, the fan speculation, all of the, what happened to all of the people in the snap and this and that. They got all that out the way within the first 5 minutes, and they did it in such an entertaining way that I'm just like, okay, I like this. This is cool. You know, shut up all the people that want to, spend 16 hours analyzing whether or not Bucky dissolved into enough, pieces of sand and dust to represent the size of an actual man. Like, just get past all of that and let's get back to having, a story be told. And so I enjoyed it. They had a lot of good surprises, good twists. I think it was mentioned in the chat by Tony Young that Mysterio was done better than he deserved, which is, I agree 100%, because it's like Mysterio was always just one of those, like, dude, this dude looks so freaking goofy. And then to see how they did his costume, to see how it looked, to see how Gyllenhaal played the character, and then obviously, like you and like Dido and I were telling you about it before you saw it, the freaking illusion effects were on.
Oh, they were killer.
Point.
They were killer.
So they killed it, man. Like and again, it's, I don't know. Like I honestly think Sony, if Sony better not, suddenly get a big head and suddenly think that they can handle Spider-Man again, they better just work the same relationship with the MCU and bring all the rest of the other stuff they want to do and let let's do this collaboration with Disney and Marvel. Don't suddenly think that, oh yeah, we're good now. We can bring Spidey back into the fold and do our Venom 2 and all. Like, no, you better talk to Marvel Studios and have them help you with this stuff so it stays on this level. Because, man, I would love to see what the MCU would do if they bring Venom into their version of these things and work it the way they're working it. Because they bring all that stuff into the MCU proper, it's over. DC may as well stop making movies. Straight up. I'm just being real.
Dude, you heard the rumor that's going around, right?
Don't put no thought into that. Man, look.
Well, I mean, I've seen it in more than one source. I don't know if it's happening. It's a rumor. That's why you use that word, rumor. Explain things. Okay, this is going to happen.
Okay, so here's
all these rumors.
See, here's
every day.
Right. So here's the problem with this particular rumor that's saying, oh, if Spider-Man Far From Home doesn't make $1 billion, then Sony's going to yank the license back. See, here's the problem with that rumor, right? That's saying that, okay, if Sony, or because Marvel's pretty much doing all the heavy lifting right now, Sony could just sit back and take all the profit. So you're telling me if this film doesn't make $1 billion, Sony's going to yank it back, start putting their own money into it, and watch it fail, so thereby they accept even more of the risk? Does that make any business sense whatsoever? At all?
Not.
No.
Of course
So
not. That's why
so that's so stupid. I hate when rumors like that come out. I hate when rumors like that come out. It's so stupid.
We gossip about rumors like that. Like, did you hear?
Go ahead, GQ.
No, just real quick. I mean, it as of yesterday, it's made 603 million worldwide. So and it's only been 8 days. I think they're good.
Right. I mean, even if it doesn't make $1 billion, the likelihood of Sony yanking back and saying, okay, MCU, you did a nice job. We're going to take it over from here. We're going to put up like $200 million of our own money. We're not going to use Tom Holland either. We're going to put out another Spider-Man movie. Thereby, if it fails, you're absolved of all the risk and we may not make a profit. Yeah, because we're geniuses like that. No, that's stupid. No. I hate those theories. They're so dumb. Anyway, so none of you guys talked about how does it compare to, the second entries of other franchises. Yeah, I know, but let's talk about that a little bit briefly. So, for me, after I saw the movie, I still think the best second movie of any MCU movie is The Winter Soldier. That almost nothing's going to beat that. Almost nothing's going to beat The Winter Soldier as far as a second movie in the MCU. Is it better than Guardians 2? Yes. Is it better than Iron Man 2? Yes. Thor: The Dark World, we don't even need to mention that in this conversation. That's so far behind. So what do you guys think as far as like how does it compare to similar MCU films? Like, do you think it's great? Do you think it's just kind of an also ran a little bit, or are there some other ones like I mentioned that are a little bit better than Far From Home?
I think as far as direct sequels, it's definitely among like the top, definitely in like the top area of like second entries. Because now, if I'm thinking about like every second entry, I think Winter Soldier, Far From Home, and probably Age of Ultron. As far as second entries.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I would definitely say top 3.
Okay. What about GQ Dido? What do you guys say?
Well, I do think that it was probably one of the better second entries, mainly because, even though the first one that came out, you didn't have to do too much backstory at all because they figured, you knew this stuff already. You don't need to do it again. And a lot of the previous movies set up this. So it's possible for them to just jump right into the story. And that's basically what they did because kind of, Endgame, it is a little bit of a continuation, though. It's just focusing on Spider-Man, and that's one of the things that I like about it. But to put a movie out there that was enjoyable to watch, that was a second movie where I didn't feel disappointed by it, I think they did extremely well. So, like, talking about Iron Man 2, like, I don't remember how much I felt of Iron Man 2. I did feel disappointed watching Age of Ultron, and I could not put my finger on it, but it was not the same feeling I walked out of the theater when I saw the first Avengers. And it definitely wasn't the same feeling I felt when I watched the two that came, after. It was just kind of like I liked it, but it was missing something. And I did not feel that with Spider-Man. I think it hit all the marks. It showed, a Peter Parker that is still trying to figure out what is he supposed to do because he doesn't have a mentor anymore. And he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to do. And it did show him developing into a character because by the end of the movie, something that he had problems with in previous movies and before, I don't know if he got it down packed, but he definitely showed that it's there. This thing that people were complaining about in Far From Home, it shows that it's there and he knows how to work it. So I didn't feel like anything was missing from that movie. I didn't feel like they needed to put anything else in the movie to make it better. I think it was a great sequel, I guess, if you want to say, or second run. I just hope we get this from like Doctor Strange 2 and Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2 as well. Just keep it up.
All right, GQ, before we move on to the next part of this.
I don't know. I mean, the movie was good. I mean, I don't really rank it in the sense of was it a good second movie? Because, I mean, I don't really see that being a fair assessment because it's like, okay, the first time you played Street Fighter, were you good at it the very first time you played it, or a year after you played it for the first time were you really good at it? Because that's kind of where Spider-Man is falling. Spider-Man is fallen into a vat of soup that has been, perfectly seasoned and understood and perfected, and he's adding more season into that mix. So for real, because like, okay,
these food analogies are great,
but it's the truth though. Like, think about it. If you played, I'm not sorry if you played. If you make your first time making like a beef stew, you ain't gonna be like perfect at it, but like by the time you've made it 300 times or whatever, you're gonna be really good at it. So if you add some new ingredient to it, you probably got a good idea of how that ingredient's going to add to the flavor because you've already experimented with all the other possible ways to do something. So the MCU, by the time Peter came around, was set. It was solid. He landed smack dab at the beginning of Phase 3, and he was benefiting from that because let's be real, he ended up debuting in Civil War, which is Avengers 2.5. So he landed. It's basically he got drafted to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what else are you gonna do? But win. So I mean, like, let that. I don't really see it as being his movie was a better part two because his part two came along after you've already had like hit after hit after hit, and stuff was just dropping billion here, billion there, 800,000, 800 million here or there. So it was
okay. So for a really
like,
good,
how can you lose?
So for a really good basketball analogy, it's like you're Kevin Durant, you get beat by the Warriors, you go and join the Warriors and immediately win a championship. You could just roll right onto the best team possible that just steamrolls everybody in their path. Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
I mean,
all right.
It's because, like I said, to me, they're at the point where they're competing with themselves for like, okay, are we going to do better than this last thing we just did, or is it going to fit in here, or is it going to work well here? It's almost like there is no other competition, regardless of the fact that yes, there is another company out there that makes movies that happen to have comic book characters. They're not even in the same. They're not even playing the same sport right now. Straight up, they're not playing the same sport right now.
No, they're not. No,
you can't even really compare them because it's like, oh, hey, what's up to Big Ed over there? He said it was a good film. He enjoyed it.
It was a good film.
No, but it's like they're not playing the same sport
at all.
Like, and it's like that. I don't even get to the point now where like you even really mention, oh, okay, well, this is your movie.
We don't even mention their name, yes, because it's like
it's gotten to that point. Like Warner Brothers is literally starting to become Voldemort by its own making. Like it's literally starting to become like the studio that shall not be named at this point because they've been doing such a piss poor job with things that they've owned for decades.
Caveat: we have like their latest direction though. Aquaman was good. Zam was pretty good. So
still have to see. See, that's the thing.
Have to see more.
We've had those.
Yeah, we have to see more.
We have to see consistency because we still have.
Yes, we do.
We still have Joker, which looks interesting, but we're not tying that in with like
anything.
Not tied into anything.
Anything.
Not tying that in anything. But that, and we also have Birds of Prey, which I am very worried about.
I honestly, I don't know what to expect with that. Dewan Davis is like WB is like it's like TNA wrestling compared to WWF.
TNA wasn't all that bad.
No, Jay Lethal in that promo with Ric Flair was like everything to me. No, like literally, that was the best thing out of TNA. That was everything. That thing was. I'll still watch that and just fall out my chair laughing. That thing was just incredible. It was just incredible. It was an incredible promo. It really was. Yeah. Speaking of promos, how about Kevin Owens last night in that pipe bomb, huh? Or a pseudo pipe bomb. Even got the mic cut off from under. So anyway, but here's the next half of this conversation, right? So how does how does the end of the movie set the stage for future films? So, I know, it's. I mean, the end of the film, we saw Mysterio get defeated. We think he may be dead. He may not be dead. I believe everybody that's watching has seen Spider-Man Far From Home, so I'm not necessarily too worried about spoilers at this point. But first of all, I don't buy for a second that Mysterio's dead. No way. I mean, he's faked his death in the comics so many damn times that it ain't funny, and it would be very easy for him to fake this one.
Indeed,
Very
yeah.
easy. So
Yeah.
I don't buy that for a second that he's dead. Now the whole secret identity reveal. What do you guys think how's that's going to set the stage for future?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line there could possibly be like another like Kree Skrull War kind of scenario, because the only reason why I say that is because something drastic has to happen going into this next phase, because excuse me, because in the next phase we have the Eternals coming, and you can't really get much more on the cosmic scale than that. And we just got through with the Infinity Saga, so with the Eternals coming, and I'm pretty sure Adam Warlock is going to be used in some capacity. And then of course, like, them getting X-Men back and Fantastic Four back, you get introduced to more Celestials. It's just like, it's so much stuff that can happen into this next phase to where it's like, who knows? I mean, it's already been talks about like them like getting ready to introduce the Defenders character in the MCU proper, for a change. Now, granted, it is a rumor. Let's state that first. It is a rumor, but considering the company that we're dealing with, it's not out of the realm of possibility. So that reveal at the end, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be like another Kree Skrull war that just winds up becoming just something that's going to wound up like affecting the universe and on a universal scale somehow, that we just gonna have to see, because I'm actually relish the fact that I don't know what the hell is going to happen next. Like, I'm relishing that right now. So that's all I can. That's my 2 cents, honestly.
Somebody who I was watching was basically saying that they might be setting up Alpha Flight. Is it Alpha Flight? Because Alpha Flight does have something to do, somewhat, according to him, with defense from space as well as Sword or something like that. So they said it may not be Sword per se, but it could
be Alpha Flight. Yeah, that makes sense.
It could be Alpha Flight that they're setting up. And then they said something else that I didn't know. I didn't know about armor. So it's Shield, I knew about Sword, but I didn't know about armor, which is supposedly the multiverse defense thing. So I'm like, okay, are we going to get into that? I'm not saying that this is going to get into it, but there's just something that I'm commenting on because I didn't know anything like armor existed. The Shield for multiverse.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but it's cool that you say that, because we were saying like not too long ago that like if they did something with Alpha Flight, that'd be a good way to segue into the X-Men with the existence of the X-Gene.
Yes, it would.
Mm-hmm. That's what this one guy, he forget the name of his YouTube channel, but he basically theorized that, and he seems to have some clout, because I actually watched him interview Tom Holland and all those other people, and he knows his comic book stuff. He's like you guys, knowing your histories and whatnot. So, I mean, it sounds like a good theory, and I would like that, even though we've been told the segue for X-Men is not coming for at least 5 years. But it'd be nice if that was, like you said, one of the movies that does do that.
But that's the beauty of it. The thing is, they don't have to do like an outright X-Men movie to introduce somebody that we know is part of the X-Men. They could probably just sprinkle them like through other stuff and then something else with that. Cause granted, like a standalone X-Men movie probably won't see for a while, but it doesn't mean that they're exempt from using characters. So exactly. I'm just saying, like, I mean, we could probably characters could pop in like however they want. Now, another thing that they mentioned, like just really quick, and it's kind of spoiler, so whatever. Now, considering that we will no longer have the Stan Lee cameos in the MCU, which we had to prepare this day for a while. Now, given how Far From Home ended, I really think an awesome way to succeed those cameos if they had Daily Bugle bulletins and other
from
MCU.
J. Jonah Jameson. That would be freaking dope.
That would be.
That would be freaking dope.
Successor to those cameos.
That would be freaking dope. Very much in the same way that J. Jonah Jameson had in the Spider-Man game. How he always had those radio broadcasts where he kind of just popped in. That stuff would be great. That stuff would be great.
That was definitely like one of the most entertaining parts of that game was listening to those podcasts. I really thought I would get sick of it, but it's like I was like, this shit is entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it was some really good stuff.
Oh really man. It's like I said, dude, like the world is their oyster with that universe right now. Like anything can happen.
Yeah. GQ, you've been quiet a little bit, so how do you think the end sets the stage for the future?
I mean, just like the same way they did when they revealed that Thanos was at the end of Avengers. I mean, they don't have to really do anything other than just stay on the path that they've been on and release stuff as they feel it's necessary to release it. I think that's what I like about the way they are handling all of this. It's like, look, we have well over, in some instances, over 60 some odd years of stuff to draw on. Like, we got plenty of material. So I like how they're doing it. I mean, I don't see them needing to change anything that they've started. Just keep going on the pace that they're going, because all the movies so far have been fun and worked and been successful. So keep on that path. I don't really see them really having to play their hand any differently than they've been doing it for the past 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah, there's really no, because it's like, look, if it's already working, ain't no point in playing around with it. Just let Feige do his thing. Keep hiring good directors that are, enjoying the source material. Keep hiring the right actors for various characters, because they've been pretty spot on with all of those castings, and just keep it moving. And that's all they got to do.
Yeah, honestly, I was a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal being cast as Mysterio. I thought he was a perfect fit for the role, especially when you consider even that his own history with Spider-Man, that he almost was Spider-Man years ago over Tobey Maguire. I think he was considered at one point to be Spider-Man, and I think honestly he probably would have been a really good Spider-Man from the Raimi movies. I think he would have been a much better Peter Parker, and maybe an even better Spider-Man than Tobey was. I think a lot of people that love Spidey is tied up in nostalgia because it was like the first time it was done. So I'm just saying,
set the standard.
Yeah,
like Raimi films set the standard, and I mean, I could still go back and watch it from here and there, but like if we're talking about like film quality, like those movies don't hold up as good as folks like to think they do.
No, they don't.
But they're still very much entertaining though for what they were.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I absolutely think that. I just think that he did a fantastic job. I really don't think Marvel's not in the habit of doing one and done with their villains. There's been a few of them. Whiplash is one. Ironmonger is another one. Ronan the Accuser, even though they found a way to bring him back, but the MCU doesn't do one and done with their villains. I mean, yes, Thanos is dead in almost every but right, but Zemo's still alive. Let's see. Well, Ultron is dead, but we don't know if Ultron is dead. Malekith is dead, but Ultron we think is dead, but he could still be alive somewhere. The Vulture is still alive.
Ultron was burned out of the net in the last one.
I know. I'm just saying they could find a way. Is all I'm saying. They could find a creative. Why? I don't know why, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Put it this way. You know how I think it could probably work. He can work his way back in. Just however that they plan on bringing Vision back, because part of Ultron's code was still in Vision.
Correct. That's true. So I mean, it could be. I'm just saying the possibility is there. But all I'm saying is that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Mysterio is dead." Like, well, like me and Justin Cook are in the chats talking about it. Like, yeah, even Birdie Kurosaki Belladonna, she says, the Mandarin, the real Mandarin hasn't been seen, and they've been teasing that he may end up being used somehow. So he's still out there. But anyway, like I was saying, Justin Cook and I have been going back and forth and saying, oh, well, Mysterio's dead. And I said, well, not really. It wasn't confirmed that he was dead. And she was like, well, how did he fool Edith? I said, it's in the wordplay. What she said was, there's no illusions currently active. She said nothing about his life signs. Mm-hmm. She didn't say his life signs are 0. She just said there's no illusions currently active. That's all she said.
First of all, that's not wordplay. That's answering the question he asked.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, for him, a lot of people are taking it as, well, that means he's dead. No, it doesn't mean he's dead. It's all on how you interpret the words. So I'm just saying.
Like Peter just didn't ask the right question.
Correct. If he had asked Edith, is he dead? Then you probably would get the answer. But how many actors can fake their death, or how many people could just hold their breath for a while? Peter not even thinking, just walks off and thinks that he's dead. He just gets up and walks off on his own, goes underground with his team. Hell, he could have told those dudes to release that video and out Peter's identity. Come on.
That was already the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan, but you still, I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I think this movie sets up for the future. Like, I think eventually we're going to get a Sinister Six movie, which I think will be, because that's never been done. I think that's like the next super feat, is to have, a Sinister Six type movie for Spider-Man where he's running the gauntlet. They might save that for the next, and what do you guys think? Do you think Marvel's really going to do maybe these 9 solo Spider-Man films? I hope they do. Think they're really going to do it? As the rumor is saying? Would you want them to?
Yeah, they can do it. I mean, it's Tom Holland, as long as he's up for playing the role that long.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be.
He's technically done 2 Spider-Man movies. He's had 5 MCU appearances already. Right. So,
and he did say he was contracted for 3 Spider-Man films, but he's young enough, and I think he likes doing it enough that he would definitely re-up for however many times that Marvel will let him play Spider-Man. And there's also a chance that he'll Thor will come back and we'll have more Thor movies as well. So I just think that the future sets up pretty bright. I know a lot of people were saying that they're mad that Spider-Man is kind of being pivoted as the heir apparent to Iron Man. Well, I think a lot of that is out the door now, especially after the reveal. Even though they can easily, put the whole secret identity genie back in the bottle with some help of the Skrulls, but his public perception with J. Jonah Jameson, he's gonna dog him till he's dead. So he's gonna be the Alex Jones of the MCU. Literally, that is exactly who he's going to be. He's going to be the Alex Jones of the MCU. So I do not think that Spider-Man will ever be seen by the MCU public as the heir apparent to Iron Man, which honestly is in line with his comic book following. Is that he's very well regarded with a lot of like the upper echelon heroes, but like to the public, a lot of people think that he's trash. So, that's probably where it's going to end up. Any last thoughts before we move on to the main topic of the day?
I think that about covers it, man. We just got to sit and wait like we always do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, dudes. So let's talk about Saturday. So we all remember how Saturdays was for us when we were growing up. Like, remember them days? Wake up, get yourself your bowl of cereal, whether it be Crunch Berries, whether it be Frosted Flakes, whether it be, the special, limited edition release of like Droids or Mr. T cereal or whatever. Basically empty the damn box, eat the whole box of cereal in one sitting on a Saturday or something like that. Pull up and watch 4 hours of just special, unique cartoons. So While I take my break, I'll be listening, but I'm gonna go grab myself a bowl and some milk and bust open these crunch berries. But why do you think why were Saturday mornings so special to you guys?
Man, look, Saturday morning was the time where you basically didn't have no worries about school and nothing like that. You typically you were the first person up in the morning on Saturday because it's like you wake up early every other day, but that's like, you know, parents like don't get up until like late in the afternoon. You up watching cartoons, eating cereal, whatever. So that was like the day for kids, like that time span. Like that was like the time to just be a kid and not worry about anything else but what you wanted to watch that day and what cereal you was gonna, you know, crack open that morning or whatever the case may be. But so I mean, my thing was like I know for me, I was pissed if I didn't wake up before 7:00 because that was when they used to have at one point when they used to debut the new episodes of Power Rangers on Saturday morning, and said it'd be 7:00 Central, and I was pissed if I was not up that early. So, man, it's just like I just always had what was my favorite? Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch was always my go-to.
Oh man, okay.
That was always my go-to. Besides that, I used to enjoy honeycombs.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? Save some of that for the follow up. But you know, let's move on to somebody else. Save some of that for the follow up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are basically echoing a lot of your sentiments. You know, they're saying that, you know, Saturday was the day where you didn't have to worry about school. I think Birdie said that. Let's see. Some people were saying like Justin Cook was like, you know, Saturday mornings was the one time you got full control of the TV, especially if you had the only TV in the house. It was the only time you had full control of the TV unless you had siblings. If you were an only kid, like or you were like the only young kid that was worried about watching TV and not sleeping in and stuff like that, oh yeah, you live for Saturdays because that was your day to have complete, total control of the TV. Absolutely. So you saw I busted open my crunch berries. GQ, why was Saturday mornings special to you, my friend?
Saturday morning was the only time that I would actually bring out more than one TV to watch multiple channels. Like that was the main.
Wait a minute. Walk me through that. What do you say? What? You're saying you break out more than one TV?
Yeah, because I was never the type to switch back and forth between programs. I just had two TVs.
This guy was sitting in a room with like 2-3 TVs on either side. He had CBS on one, he had NBC on another, he had ABC on another, and was just switching back and forth, just watching all three at the same time. Is that what you was doing? Something like that?
Yeah, because the thing is, I look at it this way. It's like if you were going to miss more trying to flip back and forth between commercial breaks than you were if you could just literally see them both at the same time. So, I mean, and realistically, it's like I was always recording, like, for example, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show, or I was recording all the X-Men cartoons, or I was recording, you know, Batman the Animated Series. So I always had access to rewatch any of the Fox stuff because that's what was usually being recorded. And then NBC usually had, you know, it's various things. They had Turtles, some Saturday morning Turtles episodes. So, I mean, for me, it was like, look, I'm going to do this to make sure I can maximize my entertainment because I'm not going to sit back. Like, because once cartoons were over and if there was nothing good on Kung Fu Theater, I was about to start playing video games. Like, that's what Saturday morning was for.
Oh, my man, Super Nerd Plus is joining the show just in time. Look, man. Look what I got, man. I got my box. I got my bowl of crunch berry. Okay, yeah. So,
okay.
You ready?
Savage, I'm ready, man.
What's this? Yes. What's this savage stuff, man?
Because
what is
I
that?
had this whole thing planned, and I didn't get my favorite cereal because I was gonna wait though.
That's poor preparation, man. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready.
I was not ready. 1,000 apologies, my lieges. So,
okay. Well, Birdie had mentioned real quick the MC Hammer cartoon. I have one episode of that recorded. Just
really? I used to watch that heavy too.
Yeah.
That was my show. Kid and Play cartoon. Y'all forgot about that, didn't you?
No, I think I have one episode of that recorded as well.
No, I didn't forget. When they tried to bring hip hop to animation. I forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a whole year that they tried to do that. I probably still have one of the posters somewhere.
Right.
So the great Daddy Coochie had to bounce out. So we thank him for being on the show. But Super Nerd basically tagged in and took his place. So I want to ask you, why were Saturday mornings special to you?
Man, because just talking about it get me excited because number one, even the most obscure cartoon I always watch. I know it's kind of dark in my room right now because I ain't got my fully set up right now because I just moved. That's here nor there. But so I would get up extra early when I found out Iron Man had his own cartoon. For some odd reason, it never came on Fox. It came on Fox, but it came on I think 6 a.m, I believe.
Because those were in syndication.
Exactly, because it was Iron Man, animated series, and Fantastic Four. Because I would catch the back end of it. I'm like, wait, they had a cartoon? So I would get up, I'll set a clock early so I can watch it. That would be my beginning of watching cartoons was that. That was like probably, 90, it came out 94, right? But we can back it up a little bit.
93, 94, yeah.
93, 94, we can back it up probably to like 90, 91. So just because I hated school no matter what, and I was just waiting for Saturday morning so I can just watch everything. I would flip through the channels. Who remember that? I used to wish I had multiple TVs just so I can keep it on one station and watch all the cartoons and the commercials and whatnot. So I would go in between Fox, NBC, ABC, USA, and just go down the line. Then have my the TV guy with me so I can say, oh, this coming on next? Bam. Let me turn this real quick.
That's back when the TV guide had true value.
I ate this bowl of cereal way too fast, man. I'm about to get me another.
So speaking of cereal, we gotta talk about
hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I already got you covered on that one. So so I'll tell you, we'll broach that one in the next topic. But kind of continuing on this one, the other reason that made Saturday so special, especially for GQ and I, when the era that we were growing up, it wasn't necessarily like this for you guys in the 80s because by then syndication had kind of taken hold, and they had they started replaying a lot of the cartoons that came on the weekend during the week. But back when we were growing up in the 80s, like the only time to catch some of these cartoons was on Saturday. That's it. Like if you didn't wake your ass up on Saturday to watch these cartoons, you didn't watch them because we didn't have VCRs back then. We didn't have DVR back then either.
I had VCRs back then. I don't know what you're talking about.
all of us wasn't the silver spoon rich kid like you. We didn't all have VCRs and multiple VCRs to record every single show. So we had to be picky and choosy. Man, yes it did. Yes it did. I don't even want to hear it. Yes it did.
It had nothing to do with any of that. It was essentially I was the wonderkind when it came down to technology in the household. So putting the VCR in my hands was a good thing. I was the one that knew how to set the timer even before they were all digital settings and all that other sort of stuff. I knew how to do all of that stuff. So all of that was to my advantage. This is what I was allowed to mess around with and play with so I could record all my Saturday morning cartoons or any other stuff that I wanted to record because I knew how to operate the VCR better than everybody else. Knowledge is power.
Anyway, like I was saying, the only time to really even catch a lot of these cartoons was on Saturday because like Pole Position didn't come on during the week, Donkey Kong didn't come on during the week, Super Friends didn't come on during the week until they got to Cartoon Network. So that was literally the only time to watch these shows. So you had to get up on Saturday to watch these shows, and if you didn't, you couldn't talk about them with your boys on the playground or in school or this other kind of stuff. Only time you could do was on Saturday.
My friends. I didn't talk about none of these cartoons. To me, Saturday morning cartoons was like my secret sanctum because I didn't talk to any of the kids in school about, you see the episode of X-Men or whatever.
Well, see, that's part of the problem with the era that you grew up in too.
Yeah. Because
a lot of that stuff was frowned upon, but I knew in my school, like we would talk about it all the time because we would make believe like we were playing out the cartoon on the playground. So,
right, sure.
So that's how we talk about it. Anyway.
Well, yeah. So I mean, me and my cousin, we's probably the only ones I remember was me and him because when X-Men got big, he had all the X-Men toys, and when Spider-Man animated series came out, I had all the Spider-Man figures. I had the Daily Bugle play set and everything. So what we would do was whoever stayed overnight, whoever house we stayed the night over, we would bring all our figures over. He'd bring a big duffel bag with all his X-Men figures, and I'd bring all my stuff over, and we do this whole scenario. We do like a whole movie play set. Like I was directing it, basically like, we're going to do it like this, and Storm and Rogue get captured, but then they break out and all that stuff. So, and then we'd do the voices and all that stuff too, and it was just so immaculate, and I think our imagination was so incredible. But to me personally, just watching like all those obscure cartoons, just like the whole zaniness of it, and some of the jokes went over your head, but it was funny. Like the Tick. I watched the Tick now, the cartoon. That shit is long and boring, but it was some jokes was funny. But as a kid, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But that cartoon was kind of boring actually if you look at it now. But if you want to go like even stuff on CBS has some strange obscure cartoons that were, they were cool. Of course you had the syndicated stuff too. The syndicated stuff was still cool. I still watched that. But here's the weird part about I was more of the Warner Brothers stuff. Like anytime Looney Tunes came on, oh man, I was marathon. I just watched it all day.
Looney Tunes back in the day, they were completely unedited. They didn't really get edited until the mid 90s.
Right.
That's when they started to edit a lot of the really violent, controversial stuff out of those cartoons. But that's neither here nor there. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in regards to our Saturday. So let's keep pushing over to the next thing. So kind of like what you were getting ready to talk about, and what I just ended up just eating, scarfing down 2 bowls real fast. I mean, like really real fast. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was what was your favorite cereal to eat on Saturdays? Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I tried the others when I was a kid, but something about Cinnamon Toast Crunch stuck with me, and that's the bowl of my choice. Like every morning I just scarf down Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Saturday morning, that was just what it was. Had my bowl ready to go, and then sometimes I didn't get a second bowl because I didn't want to miss the cartoons.
First of all, second bowl using the same milk as Cinnamon Toast Crunch is death.
I know, right?
That is an outright impossibility.
Oh, man.
I do it now.
You do it now.
Yeah, I drink. I even bump it up a notch. One of my coworkers said, he's talking about another cereal, put the granola in it. So I put granola inside the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What?
I made some new stuff. It's amazing.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah,
it sounds crazy.
It does.
GQ, it is very crazy.
You're trying to make the most unhealthy cereal in the world slightly
Absolutely.
healthy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tried it, but like Cinnamon Toast Crunch was just like, even if you go back, you remember the 3 chefs on the box, they ain't there no more.
That's because Window freaking put them other 2 out. He
did something. Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it was Window, and again, nobody ever knows the other 2. It's just Window.
Yeah, right.
But like all of a sudden, Window was like the only baker on the entire box. It's just like, what happened to the other 2, man? Like, what happened to the other 2? Like, they just disappeared. I think he hired Snap, Crackle, and Pop to work them over and get them off the box. Because remember, there used to be the Cookie Crisp, Cookie Crook, and the Cookie Cop.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yep, I remember that.
All of a sudden, the cop disappeared, and there was this dog, and all of a sudden, the crook disappeared. Now there's a wolf. I'm like, what the hell?
But those commercials. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The commercials were great because everybody knows Sugar Bear was black. Straight up.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied.
Sugar Bear knew full well he was like LL Cool J or something back in the day. Because Sugar Bear was cool.
Sugar Bear was too cool, dude. Sugar Bear was too cool.
Sugar Bear was
way too cool. So right. So Diana Turner Jackson was like, bringing it, and a lot of the junkies out there showing out in the chat talking about their favorite cereals. Like Diana Turner Jackson was talking about Product 19, which Product 19, I don't even know if I heard of that one, but Product 19.
No, she's saying a bunch of those cereals were Product 19 and sugar.
Oh yeah, pretty much. So she would pour a ton of sugar, into her bowl, right? And she was like, "How many of y'all had sugar, like at the bottom of the bowl?" Let me tell you, the only time I would eat Cheerios is if that boy was loaded with sugar.
Oh, absolutely.
And you scrape the milky sugar out of the bottom.
And it's disgusting too. You be like, the first bite, you be like, ugh, I should have done that.
Right.
I wound up getting addicted to that shit because, like, I've had many of milky sugar at the bottom of the
Yes, bro. Yes.
Because I could not eat cereal if it was not sweet. Like I
feel you.
Yes, bro.
Although I will fuck up a box of Wheat Checks with a bunch of sugar in it.
Yo, this dude Q thinking that we was on food stamps or something like that. It's like y'all was on that King Vitamin.
Hey, King Vitamin
was good, bro.
King Vitamin was no slouch. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, man, King Vitamin was good, brother. Let's see. Yeah. Let's pick out some of the ones in the chat. Some of the cereal that you guys would
remember the Cinnabon cereal?
Eat. Yeah. Dog, that was the truth. That stuff was the truth. That stuff was the truth.
Recently, those
are they still out? Are they still out? Are they?
Yeah, Post still makes them. They're fire.
Yeah, you find them like in some of the stores. You'll find them in the big brand stores. But
place
if you look
specifically is Walmart if there's one near you.
You know what? Oh man, okay, I'm on it. Between that and Waffle Crisp was like my shit.
I hated Waffle Crisp, dude. That simulated syrup shit. No, man, I hated that.
Was dope.
Oh, I hated that, man. I hated that. That joke was nasty. That joke was nasty. What are you talking about?
Okay. Now here's the funny thing that they used to have back in the day, and this is really showing age, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat have never seen these. But they used to have cornflakes and various cereals that came in these either black and white stripe boxes or they were orange and white stripe boxes, and they would just say cornflakes, and that's all they would say on it. I've never had those, but I've seen that. I remember going to the grocery store seeing those, so that's old school right there. But one of my favorite Saturday morning cereals was ice cream cones cereal.
Oh.
I remember those. Yeah, I remember those.
Had the most addictive jingle for their commercial. It was so. As a matter of fact, I have the commercial recorded on one of my tapes somewhere. But there was that. I loved that one. Then there was another one that had a really, really catchy jingle. It was the Circus Top cereal or Circus. I think it was Circus Crunch or Circus. No, it might have been Big Top Crunch or something.
Wait a minute.
Was that like King Vitamin?
No. Wait a minute. Hold up. Is this dude Tony Young disrespecting Mr. T cereal? Is that what I saw?
Uh-oh.
Is that what I saw?
Fired up.
Is that literally what I saw? Was he disrespecting Mr. T cereal?
I don't know. His post is a little bit ambiguous. It just says Mr. T King Vitamin.
Dude, no, he says I said it. What?
Oh, there you go. Well,
what?
Let's be real. Mr. T cereal was just like, Captain Crunch.
And so what?
Only time Mr. T even showed up or even got any recognition for having a cereal was because of Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Captain
Crunch was still like, Captain Horatio Hornblower was still the man in charge when it came to the Captain. The only thing you had to make sure of is you had the milk on top of that cereal and you let it sit for a second. Otherwise, the roof of your mouth was dead.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Captain Crunch back in the day used to tear up the roof of the mouth, dog. Yeah. No, man. I've learned how to eat it, so it doesn't bother me no more.
So you know what it is? It's like I started moving away from crunch berries, and then like I wound up getting stuck with the peanut butter crunch berries.
That was fire.
The peanut butter crunch or whatever. And it's like I don't know what it was about peanut butter crunch for a minute, but like every time we had it, I had a minimum of 2 bowls every time. Like peanut butter crunch was so freaking addicting to me, and I think that's part of the reason why I wound up loving like peanut butter flavored stuff like after a while, because like I didn't expect to like it that much, but I don't know, like for me, like if I'm going to have it, like that's the one I go to. Like I don't even remember the last time I even ate regular Captain Crunch berries, but Speaking of berry cereal, I know like one cereal I was never a fan of was Trix.
Yeah, I didn't like Trix either.
But for some reason, I wound up liking them when they came out with the Trix berry cereal. Like when they had like the berries, like they had the Trix berry cereal. Like
the berry shaped cereal, the berry shaped Trix.
Like when they came out with that, then I was like, okay, maybe y'all got something.
Because dog,
like then, like I never cared for Trix.
Originally, like Trix was like. It was like it was basically like Kix. It was flavored Kix, basically.
Basically, that's all it was. I didn't really mess with Trix like that. It was kind of like Fruity Pebbles, man. I didn't really fucking Fruity Pebbles. Cocoa Pebbles though. Cocoa Pebbles was fire.
Cocoa Pebbles was dope.
Trying to say Cocoa Pebbles cure diabetes. I don't know about that. Cocoa Pebbles was awesome.
Cocoa Puffs.
Wait a minute, what?
Cocoa Pebbles.
What was that?
And Cocoa Puffs.
No. Remember the Fruity Pebbles? Then they had the Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Fruity Pebbles was weird because that Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles both got soggy so fast because they were.
They did, and I couldn't stand that. I can't eat cereal that gets soggy like that.
Well, I just wanted for the chocolate milk. That's the main reason why I got the Cocoa Pebbles.
I mean, because the flavor of that milk changed real fast. Like,
yep, that was the best part.
And I was asking, what was everybody's favorite toy they got from the cereal box, though?
A decoder ring.
Damn, I can't even remember like my favorites.
I don't know. It's been so long. I don't know which one was the best one. I can't remember.
There were some that had some good. I mean, cereal toys were kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Because Kenshiro and I grew up during the heyday and the pretty much the golden age. No, the golden age of Happy Meal toys.
Right.
So
we
had Happy Meal toys that trumped any and all cereal.
That's true. Toys. That is true.
Yeah. So. Yeah. If we wanted, like the thing is, when they came with toys, like we all the Happy Meals toys were the shit. Like I still remember my favorite toy I've ever gotten from there was during a time when they were doing the Mario Brothers 3 toys. Mm-hmm. And I had the wind up one with Luigi riding the cloud.
Yep.
And I had one of those, so it was like, dude.
I
think it was still my favorite one.
Hey, Diana brought up the one toy that we all loved getting out of the cereal box: the spider that you could throw at the wall and it would climb down.
Oh,
basically,
yeah,
remember that?
Remember that?
Yes, I remember those. Mm-hmm. I remember those.
The most expensive capsule toys ever.
No, right? I know, right?
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, because I'm about to go to some cereals that were bad, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. I was just talking about, like, as far as, like, food goes, the fast food restaurants, like, I remember it was at Pizza Hut, they gave out the Ninja Turtle tapes, the VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had one.
Yeah.
I had one.
Yeah, Turtles was sponsored by Pizza Hut because that's why they put them in the video game.
And then whenever you get Pizza Hut, you would get a VHS tape with it,
that makes sense.
I'm sure I have those still.
I had one of them.
The one I got from Burger King because they were doing them too.
Yeah, I remember that. Sure did. And then of course the McDonald's, the little transforming food, which I bought those at a thrift store. But you remember the transforming McDonald?
The Egg McMuffin and all the
Yes.
Remember the Burger King mascots back then?
Yeah. So wait. So GQ, before you get into the cereals that are bad, right? I managed to find an image that I want to show everybody out there. An image of like cereals from like back in the 80s. So I want you to see this, right? So look at this. Look at this lineup, right? So you got Cocoa Puffs, you have Frankenberry and Boo Berry. Remember, like, they only bring those out now around Halloween. They used to have them out all the time. They used to have them all the time. So Super Golden Crisp, which is what Golden Crisp is now, and it had it has the foil box like it used to have.
Rainbow Bright cereal?
Like, the shiniest box on the aisle.
Yes, it was the shiniest box on the aisle. Like, it drew kids to it. You had to get it. It was like you had to find it.
Those like those '90s aluminum foil comic book covers.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Donkey Kong.
That was intelligent marketing.
Donkey Kong.
Seriously, what the fuck is Sunflakes and Habsies?
Sunflakes was another cornflakes ripoff.
Yeah, it was like touched by the sun, so they like had honey on it.
Gotcha.
Had honey on it.
Now I got stuck.
I used to like those, by the way.
Cereal.
I used to like Sunflakes, by the way.
Hey, you ain't never bringing out that one next to Pops no more. They ain't having no OJs.
Hell no.
It's not like OJ Simpson, but yeah. Hey, remember Kellogg's and they knockoff Golden Crisp Honey Smacks? Dog. It was like, I remember people used to talk about getting Honey Smacks or Super Golden Crisp. I was like, dude, if you don't take your ass on, the only one that's even worth any good is the one with
Super Bear, man.
Sugar Bear. Yeah, that was the only one that was worth it. Diggum wasn't that deal.
Like,
yes.
Like, really? Diggum?
Diggum was not that deal.
Smacks.
All right. Like,
what did he? Let's see.
Sugar Bear needed his own cartoon, straight up.
Yeah, he did. Akil is asking, like, what did Quisp taste like?
Which one?
Quisp, the one that's next to Mr. T.
It looked like shit.
They really they look like they just look like a bunch of
like crackhead cereal. What the hell?
Dude don't look like he operating off this plane of existence.
Right, like you can't even say the name of it properly unless you have a list. Like you're just not even qualified. You have to have a list to say the name of that cereal.
Eddie Johnson needs to take that back. He said Smacks and Golden Crisp was the same shit. No, they weren't. No, they were not.
Technically, they were. Just Sugar Crisp tasted a little bit better.
Shit.
They kind of were, but I always prefer.
Golden Crisp was the deal.
Golden Lucky Charms either. Lucky Charms is wiggity wag.
Lucky Charms. Here's the problem with Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms started off. It was cereal with some marshmallow stuff shapes in it, right? Then all of a sudden, the cereal started getting marshmallow frosted. Then eventually the cereal disappeared and it was just the marshmallow shapes. I'm like, I'm not eating a mouthful of marshmallow, man. That's nasty.
Right. So check it out. Like, so we got Cracker Jack cereal, which I would never get because I was always afraid that they'd have peanuts in them somewhere. You know, so I'd be eating peanuts in my cereal. There's no way I was going to do that. There's no way I was going to eat Cracker Jack cereal and get peanuts in my cereal. Hell no. That way ain't going to happen. Donkey Kong Jr.
I didn't even know they had a cereal, G.
Yes, dude.
Own Cracker Jacks like that.
Dude, is that Cabbage Patch Kids?
Cabbage Patch Kids cereal, brother.
I don't remember that.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the funny thing, though. In that picture, they hating on Count Chocula because Count Chocula was always the one that was always around.
That was all. Yeah, Count Chocula was the one that would sell. Frankenberry.
You got Count Chocula. You got Frankenberry
and Blueberry.
Fruit Brute, and Yummy Mummy.
Yes. Yes, those were the other two. I never liked those monster cereals. I never liked those monster cereals.
They suffered the same problem of Lucky Charms. I'm like, dude, I don't like all these marshmallow cereals.
Yeah,
I was never a marshmallow cereal fan.
Yeah, I didn't really like those at all. But
so
the one,
y'all try that Rainbow Bright cereal?
Nah, man. I can't say that I did.
Do you see the name of the cereal? Do I look like
Never know, man. Hey,
so let me.
I don't know. I don't have any sisters. I would never have tried that cereal.
So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The one cereal that was not on there that I was an absolute addict for back in the day was Pac-Man cereal. Now y'all talk about cereal with marshmallows in it. Like Pac-Man was the one. It was basically Kix with marshmallows. Like, so the Power Pellets would be like the Kix in the cereal, and the marshmallows would be in the shape of Pac-Man and the Ghosts. So, dude, I was addicted to that cereal back in the day. It was great. It was great. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. It was great.
I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't a fan of Kicks like that, man.
You know what was messed up?
Adding marshmallows with it, just like,
no, man.
So my mom she tried to ruin my childhood a little bit.
Yeah.
So when she tried to eat healthy as a kid, so I had to eat healthy too. I said, for real?
You got your raisin bran early on.
Yeah. I had to beg to get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. She's like, no, we're eating the flakes or no Raisin Bran. I'm like, for real?
Raisin Bran,
like your stomach
grape nuts.
Able to handle bran cereal yet. Like
the idea of Raisin Bran always disturbed me. It's like, first of all, it's dried raisins, which are already dried fruit in themselves, but now you got to use the milk to hydrate them.
Yo,
I think that cereal is why I hate raisins.
Okay, so how come nobody remember the original shredded wheat? We used to break them.
I remember those.
The giant brick.
Yeah, the giant bricks.
Correct. So she would eat that. And I was like, really? So I'd dump a bunch of sugar just so I can taste good when she wasn't looking.
You know,
but the thing is, you said what?
It was what was funny about that. You would buy a box of the original shredded wheat, and it would be like maybe 4 or 5 of them in there.
Right.
They took up basically the entire box.
Exactly.
Like, because here's the thing. The first time we ever had that in my house, I grabbed one of those because I had a little miniature train set at the time, and I used half of one of them bricks as a bale of hay for my background.
Wow.
Because it's like nobody's gonna eat this. This is nasty.
Yeah,
it's terrible, man.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, nobody remember those besides us. But like when I was younger, nobody because it went to the mini wheats, which those are fire too. The frosted mini wheats. And I'm the weirdo. I put sugar on top of my frosted mini wheats.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Yeah. Q was 100% right in the chat. He said marshmallows and cereals always tasted like chalk.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I was never a fan of Lucky Charms. Like I hated Lucky Charms.
They did. They.
And then okay. Now, since we already transitioned into nasty cereals, let's talk about the one. Let's talk about the brick that everybody saw at least one time in their cabinet, the grape nuts.
Disgusting! Just absolutely disgusting.
My mama had that.
Here's what I hate.
I fortunately avoided that. So
here's what I hated about that. The box was, first of all, it wasn't even a full size box. It was like a slightly miniature box, and it had a pour top. It had a pour spout top instead of like a regular cereal box top.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a box of grape nuts it weighed about 5 pounds. It was like, this makes absolutely no sense.
They held you down, literally.
Right. Here's the other one that I didn't like. And this is the one that I remember. I remember they used to have commercials for this, like this was going to be the best thing ever. And the cereal, I think back in the day, back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, used to cost, I think, $12 a box. And it was Kellogg's Mueslix. That cereal.
What is that?
Google it. That cereal looked like you just went outside and reached your hand down in your yard and grabbed up some like loose twigs and a couple of berries and some grass. That's what that stuff looked like. I'm just sitting, and I remember going to the store with my mom one time. And it was just like Mueslix. I just had to find it because I saw the commercial. I'm like, this isn't what? And then I saw it.
He's like, what?
Like, why is this stuff so expensive? I'm like, this is ridiculous. It was, it's supposed to be one of them healthy cereals. Mueslix is the cereal that Whole Foods would be selling like it's like the best thing ever right now if Mueslix still existed. Whole Foods would be all over that. Like, yeah, get you some Kellogg's Mueslix. And if you want to look up how it's spelled, I think it's Muxlex or something. It's something ridiculous if you're trying to Google it. But yeah, Kellogg's Mueslix. Matter of fact, I'm going to find it and throw it in the chat because Kellogg's Mueslix, man, I remember that cereal. I'm like,
disgusting,
oh my God.
Dude. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
I'm going to find it so you guys can witness the horror.
I'm gonna tell you what sucks too. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch went on a little kind of a curve to make the French Toast Crunch. Those are good, but then they got a new one out. It's terrible. It's called Cinnamon Toast Churros or whatever.
I like them.
The one I must have had a bad box. I must have had a bad box. It had no cinnamon. It had no cinnamon in it. Yeah, I put sugar in it. It was still gross. It must have been a bad batch.
Yeah, you got a bad box because like last time I got them, they were actually good. It was just like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but they were made like in churro size. Like they basically were like little pillars like this.
Yeah, they're like a real churro.
Or whatever. They look like a real churro, but
yeah.
Oh my god!
That was not it.
Oh, speaking of cereal, like Keenan, did you ever wind up trying that Sour Patch Kid cereal?
No, bro. I went ahead and passed on that. I wasn't gonna eat that. I wasn't gonna eat that.
Good man.
Yeah, no, man. I wasn't gonna do all that. So I ended up finding some more stuff for us to look at, and I'll pull it up in a second. But and when I tell you some of the ones that we're getting ready to show you is part of what made Saturday so much fun for us. See you later, Diana. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Cocoa Wheats.
Huh? What?
Cocoa Wheats. Cocoa Wheats, the creamy hot cereal with the cocoa treat.
Cocoa Wheats can't be beat.
That cereal, that commercial was so man.
I'm like super side eyeing you right now through the camera.
You know that one? You remember that one?
That commercial was hilarious.
The commercial was hilarious, but come on, bro. Come on, dude.
Cocoa Wheat can't be beat.
Yeah, that cereal. That kid was on he was on LSD or something.
Hey man, he was getting paid. He was getting paid. So what do he care?
It was a cartoon.
Oh, Kellogg's Cinnamon Mini Buns. Was that the one you was talking about earlier, Super Nerd?
Yeah.
The ones that was like the honey buns, but it was, yeah.
It was like
I'm looking at them now.
yeah.
Kellogg's, oh, okay. Because I know Post got like the actual Hostess Cinnabon.
Oh, no, these were actually Cinnabon. Them mugs was amazing.
Yeah, they were. I remember those. Like, that was... Dude,
like...
Wait a minute. How many of you guys remember the Wheaties Dunkaballs?
No.
Kind of remember those. Yes, it was all about basketball. I kind of remember those. Yes.
Hey, speaking of basketball, this came in my head. Remember the Pro Stars cartoon?
We was just talking about that. Actually, Eric brought that up. Yeah, Eric brought that up last week. Yeah.
So that recorded.
That was one of the most obscure cartoons I used to watch too. And then, so even that, I will watch the probably later on down the road. That after the cartoons go up, they'll show like the teen sitcom, 90s teen sitcom shows that come on.
We know you was all about them. We knew you was all about them.
You know it. Saved by the Bell, City Guys.
He was all about that.
California Dreams. Oh man,
gosh, like you saying names I ain't heard in a while. Like that was like the one.
He was literally he was all about them.
Why you can't see why these guys, the new guys, smart and streetwise.
See what I mean? See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
City guys. Yes, that was my.
See what I'm talking about?
See, when those came on, I switched to Hercules and Xena. That's what I did.
But here's the thing, though. Like even Sunday morning's cartoons was kind of lame a little bit, but they had some good, shows. So I remember like SO Squad. Remember Sky Surfers?
Barely.
That was like one of those. It was like a dark ass anime style kind of a cartoon, and they had like surfboards and shit. They be flying in the sky and whatnot. That came on. I think that came on CBS or USA. I'm not sure which channel it came on.
All right.
Because what?
No, I was gonna say. So I'm gonna show you a lot of these actually, and Fallen Marvel actually provided me with a pick too that I'm gonna go ahead and grab and put into the line as well. But so here we go.
I'm gonna paste in this Kellogg's Mucilix commercial.
Oh Jesus. Okay. All right. So here's one. S'mores Crunch.
Did they make a newer version of that? They got a newer version of that, don't they?
Do they?
I don't know.
News to me.
But I have seen one recently. I forgot who makes it though. It might be Post. Yeah. I can't really remember.
Franklin Oat brand. Oh my god, I remember that.
Oof.
All right. So there's the Wheaties Dunkaballs.
Those are like balls, literally like.
Yeah, like literally like basketballs. Them things was disgusting, dude. the things was disgusting, bro. It was disgusting, bro. Thankfully, right. Here we go. Donkey Kong cereal. I used to love this. Love these.
Crunchy barrels of fun.
Oh my goodness! Why does it look like why that music commercial look like he's got a slave in there though?
Wow.
Really?
He He's not a slave, but I'm just.
Wait, that's a cereal, Morning Funnies?
It was a cereal, yes, back in the day.
That.
Yeah,
Wow.
Morning Funnies. It was a cereal back in the day.
Maybe for my time.
And worst part is, it's just a bunch of smiley faces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's
it had nothing to do with the cartoons they were talking about. Nothing to do with them
at all.
That's weird.
at all.
Beat
At
up
all.
Bailey.
Ooh, someone said Savage Dragon and Wing Commander. Remember those cartoons?
Yes, Wing Commander was trash. Wing Commander was so much trash. Wing Commander was so much trash.
Was that a cereal? I don't remember
Dragon
that.
was cool though. I remember that
Yes.
being cool.
Oh, Savage Dragon was dope. But they took it off YouTube for whatever weird
Yep.
reason.
100% right. That music, just like the commercial for that music, so just like how it would have tasted.
Nasty, disgusting.
I got found one I got to share now. I found
Rainbow. What's up?
I found the ice cream cone cereal commercial.
Oh yes, you gotta give it to me.
No.
Gotta give it to me.
That
You
was
gotta
one
watch
of
that.
That was one of the most addictive.
Wait, is that the guy from
Swedish Chef, that's right.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't remember that.
All right, so there we go. I just posted
A link to it. All right.
yeah, link to that. Dude, that cereal commercial, because the commercial was an animated commercial, so I mean, like they could do kind of whatever they wanted, but it was a jingle that was just as catchy as like actually having an ice cream truck come around your neighborhood. It's like I remember, like first time I had that cereal, I'm like, oh my god, this is so good.
Hey, ET cereal like shit.
It was, dude. It was a bunch of E's and T's. They were peanut butter and chocolate flavored. Peanut butter and chocolate flavored. But hey, peep out this box, right? Peep out this box, right? You see what the special storybook offer is, right? You see who's down there, right?
Is that Michael Jackson?
Yes, it is, dude.
Michael Jackson was all over that stuff back then.
Yes,
man.
he was, dude. He was everywhere on that stuff.
He was endorsing all sorts of stuff, man.
All sorts of stuff.
Man.
Everybody had this
Batman
box.
cereal.
Hey,
remember this. I had that one time.
remember when
I
they
had
came
that
out with
one
these again? Like it was like not too long ago. It was like a couple years ago.
Like those literally tasted like regular Captain Crunch.
Yeah, they basically were, but they were Batman shaped.
Yeah, I remember those.
I remember those.
Like Ralston. Who the heck is Ralston?
Ralston, no, they're not even around anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So like, they cast in on that Batman thing.
So did y'all ever eat the C3POs?
Yes, the 3POs.
I remember the 3POs. All right, so you about to play that ice cream Jones or cones or whatever?
I will. I'm not quite done yet. I have more cereals. I just keep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, what else you got?
Here we go. Gremlins.
Oh hell no! They made a Gremlin cereal.
Yes, dude.
Oh wow.
Yes, dude.
Back in the day, everything got a cereal.
Everything got a cereal.
I don't like ugly little creatures looking at me when I'm eating my cereal. I bet that was fire though. Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcakes.
Here's the thing. Fall of Marble was talking about the Rainbow Bright cereal. I never ever had that, but I have had strawberry shortcake cereal. And
That shit was good. That shit was good.
That was good. Two other reasons besides it being good. It reminded me of Crunch Berry. It reminded me of Crunch Berries for one. So that was already a good thing in its favor.
Okay.
And two, it reminded me of Smurf. What was that? That Smurf Berry.
This?
No. I hated the cereal, but in the show.
The Smurf berries.
Yeah, the Smurf berries, whatever. The Smurf berry cereal, whatever the heck they used to run around eating, looked more like the strawberry shortcake stuff. Because the strawberry crunch sucks.
They made the cereal that the show was based on to make it worse.
Right. Well, again, back in the day, Bugs Bunny used to have carrots look like they tasted real good. But
For real.
Wow.
For real.
Cartoons in general made food look delicious.
yep.
Wait,
Like
Barbie had her own fucking cereal.
Yes, dude. Come on now.
Why they wanted to like tear up that whole table of food?
Exactly. So, here we go. Ralston again. Ralston making breakfast with Barbie. No, thank you.
Here go your stuff.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
That was so good, man. They had that one. They had vanilla. They had chocolate, and they had chocolate chip.
And the breaking electric boogaloo.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. That cover is kind of fire.
It was, dude. It was so good, man. It was so good.
Matter of fact,
So
that's
good.
Ew, they're like pretzels.
I hate it. I don't know what it was, right? So when I went to eat 3PO cereal, right, the milk must have spoiled because I swear I took one bite and the shit just tasted disgusting. I threw it out. I threw the box away.
Here's the crazy part. They got the nerve to put strawberries in there for what?
Hey, you know they wanted to make stuff look healthy, right?
It's honey sweetened oat and wheat and corn cereal, and they got the nerve to put a 25-cent coupon on the side like that's something special.
Right.
Anything that had real fruit in it, I was not sold on.
What the fuck is the Monster Mallows?
Monster Mellows, marshmallows, man. Come on now.
I know I was being funny, but I guess the
there it is. Circus Fun.
Circus Fun. I don't remember that.
It was like horses and hoops, balls and bears, elephants, lions, and then.
Oh wait a minute, hold on.
Of course you don't remember these, dude. You probably weren't even born yet. These are the ones that we ate when we were kids.
No, I didn't eat Circus Fun.
I didn't eat Circus Fun either, but I'm just saying they were out.
So what were the grocery store brand cereal y'all had to eat that wasn't name brand?
Oh man, no.
That stuff. That stuff was nasty.
So y'all never ate crispy.
Talking about, dude, I forgot this existed. And dude, I am so glad I never ate it because I think this would have been nasty.
That's kind of racist.
Well, it probably was.
Hold on, pull that back up again.
But they got the nerve to put save 10 cents with a closed coupon. Hey, cereal was expensive. What's 10 cents going to do?
But Buddy got that go tell it on the mountain straw hat on though.
Dog, it's like okay, so it looks all racist.
I'm done.
Kind of.
It looks like it is. It's fun.
Oh god, there's that Dunkin' the time to make the dough.
Time to make the donuts.
Wow. They got the discount Dr. Strange in there though, the amazing black film.
Right.
You know it's weird that cereal looks just like CP3O cereal.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Now this was the truth. Yes, the Nintendo cereal system.
Hell, it's Ralston again, man. See, Ralston. I only ever bought one Ralston thing. It was a Batman cereal because again, the movie was the truth. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, Batman was everywhere that year, so there was like no way you weren't going to get it.
You wasn't escaping that. Like you had to at least taste that. But crispy critters, nah, dude. That's not a good name.
Animal crackers in your cereal? I think not, my friend.
Fam. That ain't it, fam.
No.
And they have the nerve to say low in sugar. Fuck out of here.
Guaranteed.
Creepy ass. That's hella creepy. Look at that shit. And it says low in sugar.
Yo, man, girls used to love Cabbage Patch Kids back in the day. Like, so.
Hold on, though. Look at the cereal. Isn't that the same cereal with the hot smiley face with the funnies?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
They keep that. Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That's creepy.
Ralston was all over the place back then. They was the LJN of cereals, man.
Yep. How about these, bro?
Nerds had fucking cereal.
Yes, dude. Yes, they did.
I didn't like nerds either. I didn't like the candy.
I bet that was.
Man, you're crazy. What is wrong with you?
I never liked the candy, dude.
Wow, this guy.
No, the candy is fire, but like as cereal, I bet that shit was tart as hell.
All it was grape nuts.
The cereal was nothing like the candy, man. Nothing.
They would have to do something. If it tasted exactly like the candy, that'd be horrible.
That's what
Hold on. Eric Greenlee is asking about the two bags. Yeah, Nintendo cereal had two different sides.
Sure did.
So did
nerds.
You open it on one side and pour out one type of cereal, and open the other side and pour out the other.
Yep, that's right.
People used the two. Oh yeah, there you go.
Wow.
G.I. Joe Action Stars, boy.
So
G.I. Joe cereal. The LJN of cereals, also known as Ralston.
Ralston. That's right.
Ralston was that. They made everything, man.
So let me ask you this: on the back of the cereal, did it tell you about not to mess with people? Don't talk to strangers on the back of the box.
Oh,
you mean the public service announcements? Yeah, no, they ain't do all that.
One thing that we forgot to talk about from Saturday morning was Schoolhouse Rock, though.
Oh man, Schoolhouse Rock was the truth. Schoolhouse Rock was the truth.
Rock and all those little extra fillers, like exercise your choppers when you chew, and that little cheese ball that was like a cowboy or something or whatever the heck it was. Hanger for a hunk of cheese, like all of those. Wow. All those little like interlude things that we used to have were so awesome.
Someone said Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Nice.
Hey, share me that ice cream cones commercial again because I lost it. Put it in the other chat and I'll grab it. But real quick, I'll move on before while I'm loading that up. Right. So the last topic I wanted to bring up to all of you guys, and we know it's getting late. A lot of you guys, if you've been hanging in there with us this long, we appreciate you. We really do. But this last question, I swear to God, is probably going to make it for you because this one's going to make you really, really think. So we know Saturday mornings ran typically from like the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 noon, right? So I want everybody to come up with your dream Saturday lineup. You got 8 shows to fill. So you got 4 hours, 4.5 hour. Basically, you got to fill 4 hours of programming. So that gives you 8 shows to put on, 8 30-minute shows to put on. So I need you to come up, and we're talking across the board, from every single era. Come up with 8 shows that is your dream Saturday lineup.
Well, I already got a YouTube channel dedicated to it already.
Yeah, cheater. So,
if you guys want to watch it out,
right? So, go ahead, Super Nerd, since you ready. And I'll get this commercial lined up.
Okay, so we'll go with Voltron, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, X-Men, Spider-Man, Wildcats. Gotta throw Wildcats in there. Mm-hmm. Looney Tunes, and then my 8th one would be probably my favorite one was Eat the Cat.
That's gonna be your 8.
That's it. That's my 8. That's my 8. I told you, like the obscure shit. Eat the Cat was my shit.
Yeah, man. Okay, you do. GQ, what about you? What's your ultimate, your dream Saturday lineup?
Dream Saturday lineup would probably be X-Men, Batman the Animated Series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tranzor Z.
Interesting.
Well, I remember that one coming on Saturday more often than anything else. I would throw DuckTales in there, Darkwing Duck, and then just for the heck of it, why not like that old Karate Kid cartoon?
You being funny.
Actually, no, I'm joking. I'd take that one off. I'd probably put Transformers in there for sure.
Reboot as an honorable mention.
Reboot was funny.
Reboot was funny.
Yep.
All right, Fallen Marvel, what was yours?
How about Mortal Kombat Street Fighter?
Man, never.
Mortal Kombat.
Man, never.
Justice League NetherRealm. Now
Never.
I refuse to call it Mortal Kombat.
Never.
That dude was yelling at least once in every episode.
Sonic Boom!
Man. That voice actor for Guy he was trying to earn his check.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Totally was.
So my 8 for Saturday be Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Looney Tunes.
That's not a cartoon though.
I mean, it's still a show though.
Go ahead.
So I'm still at it. So that's Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry.
I hated Tom and Jerry.
SWAT Cats.
Wow. Hating on Tom and
Cats.
Jerry?
Yeah. I never liked Tom and Jerry. I always turn the channel.
Let me see. X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman Animated Series, and Animaniacs.
Ooh.
Oh, not bad.
Good choice.
That's not bad.
Shit, I forgot about it. Yeah.
All right, so I got the video. It's loaded. It's waiting to play. But before I play that, I'm gonna give you guys mine. My 8, okay, would definitely be Batman the Animated Series, X-Men, Spider-Man the Animated Series, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends too. I probably have to put it in there. The 1980s Incredible Hulk, Turbo Teen, probably Dennis the Menace.
Seen that cartoon forever.
Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies.
And Mighty Orbots, because I love Mighty Orbots. I'm like, I don't know, for whatever reason, that cartoon as a kid just tickled me, and I've just loved it ever since. I loved it ever since.
You pick Spider-Man and Amazing Friends, and you're gonna let Prince Namor get away with that's not water.
It's alcohol. That was the line, dude. That was the line.
Oh my god.
That was the line.
Man,
yes,
that was terrible.
That was the line. Because I've downloaded. You know it's on my Plex, right? I watched that episode just to cue that up. Just in a rainy day.
Between that and the '60s Fantastic Four when they beat Magneto with a wooden gun.
Wooden gun? What did it shoot?
Nothing.
No,
he said my powers. He
was so convinced his powers were taken away. He was like, Reed literally outsmarted him. Like,
dude, it's terrible.
Like,
it was so terrible.
Like, dude.
It's crazy, man.
Find it on YouTube, dude. It's the most funniest, silliest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. That stuff is so.
Remember the dude that was in the elevator? He said, how did you do it? So Magneto when he's picking up the elevator or whatever. He said, how did you
know what? I would have
thrown.
thrown Pride and the X-Men in mind if it wasn't only just one freaking episode. Because, dude, the animation stands up still to today. Like if you watched it, it's so good. It's still so good.
Part of the X-Men is still amazingly good.
It's amazingly good. It's so good.
He rolled up. My man Magneto rolled up in that car though.
Oh,
yeah,
man. And the worst part is he rolled up to the gas station, asked for directions. I'm like. He's like, yeah, buddy, but don't you think you need my car needs no gas?
It was like a half helicopter, half station wagon.
Oh man,
breaking the gas station sign and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, this is so cheesy.
Oh man, Hand of Omega is right. Thunder the Barbarian was great back in the day. And Conan the cartoon had the most hilarious opening ever. Conan the Adventurer. I remember that, dude. It was man. Anyway,
to me, like G.I. Joe still has the funniest opening to me.
Which one? The Got to Get Tough? The Got to Get Tough one? Got to Get Tough.
I think it was, Joe. But it was like it was one that they showed where it was kind of like damn it, like a whole like a whole thing that they said. It was like about 2 minutes, and it was just
you better not be disrespecting the G.I. Joe the movie opening. You better not be disrespecting.
But it was like the one they talk about Cobra, dude, like Cobra.
Hold on.
Can you believe this?
Dude, you can't tell me that wasn't funny. Now, come on,
bro.
You can't tell me like that. Like looking back on it, that's not funny,
bro.
Really? Oh, dude, I gotta show you a video I made.
Bro.
Oh man,
bro. Are you for real? Are you for real?
I made the live action G.I. Joe look good using that song.
Yo, man. Throw it in there. Throw it in there. I'll cue it up next. So here's the ice cream cones commercial. So we'll watch that, and GQ can throw this to me, and I'll get it.
Yep.
What are you waiting for? Ice Cream Jones and new ice cream cone cereal. My name's Ice Cream Jones. I'm bringing
Ice Cream Jones. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, that jingle was fire, dude. I don't care what nobody said.
I'll have vanilla. Give me chocolate chips. They look like little ice cream cones. And taste like them. The crunchy part of this nutritious breakfast. With the great taste of ice cream cones. New ice cream cone cereal.
Wow. Really? Wow. Craziness. Man, how dare you disrespect the opening, dude?
Oh, come on.
The music alone.
Hold on. Wait, while you're queuing that up, look at I found this not too long ago. I found this recently. This is the Injustice statue. Why they got Diana looking like so manly in the face, man?
Can't see that. It's kind of out of focus right now. But
let me bring it up so I can see what I'm showing. Let me see. Yeah, it'll take it a second to focus.
She just looked like she's like in mid snarl.
No, she looks dude. She just can't look. It's gonna be hard to get.
She is looking kind of mannish, man.
She's looking a little bit mannish.
She's looking a little mannish. That ain't
All
right.
right, so I'm gonna let him cute. How you gonna?
I mean, we not seeing female.
I mean, just straight up disrespect. The disrespect. I don't understand it, man. The disrespect you showing.
Oh, stop it!
Hey,
Stop what, dude?
I didn't say it was trash. I just said it was funny.
You did say it was, you practically said it was trash.
I didn't say it was trash. I said it was funny.
But no, dude. Yeah, the movie opening is not funny.
It's not funny. It's one of the most patriotic things I've ever seen.
it was dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can go ahead and put that video in there so you can. Because again, like I said, I was able to make the live action G.I. Joe movies look good using that song. So that shows you how epic that song is.
The song was incredible. I don't know what the hell this guy's on. I don't get you.
All
man.
right. Okay.
I don't get you, man.
Dinosaurs.
I remember that one too.
Well, I remember that too. I remember that too.
That's my
Yes. I remember
Samurai
that
Pizza
too.
Cats. You know, Samurai Pizza Cats is on Amazon Prime actually, and Dinosaurs.
I tried watching Samurai Pizza Cats on there.
Well, I think when I remember watching it, came on after school.
You're not playing it full screen, everybody.
I mean, come on. man.
Hasbro.
How do you hate on this intro,
You're
dude?
cutting off. Oh, there you go. That's better. Let's see, cutting off the greatness, man.
This is like the awesomest
yeah.
thing ever, dude. Are you kidding me? The song was incredible.
Oh yeah, we don't get those rights.
Well,
on
look.
there.
To be fair, this was past my time of Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, so you missed out. Unfortunately, you missed out on all the G.I. Joe miniseries that were like incredibly awesome. There was two of them.
Like this.
There was two of them, and this was before G.I. Joe the movie came out. So the miniseries of for G.I. Joe were like made you want to watch the series. They really did.
I mean, look. The thing is, I'll watch it just because I'm a retro junkie in general. But I'm just saying, just looking at it, just like the look. It's 80s cheese, dude. Like, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, you don't act like it's not 80s cheese, though. I mean, I love the 1985 Transformers movie, but that's cheese. Like, come on, we're not gonna act like it ain't.
Wait a minute, stop. So you saying you never watched G.I. Joe the movie with Sergeant Slaughter?
No.
What?
Wow. That was before my time.
So
The excuses, I will not accept them. I will not accept these excuses.
yeah, you gotta
No excuses. I just never came across it. Like,
No, man. No, man.
Okay, you've been making excuses for Fifth Element all this time, so don't try to come in.
Believe me, this is worse. This is worse than that. This is worse than that.
We got you.
Okay.
This is
No,
worse.
It is not.
Yes, it is. This is worse. This is so much worse. This is so. Look, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Right? Okay. G.I. Joe the movie is a foundational piece of the building of a culture junkie. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there are certain movies you have to watch that are almost like required. Transformers the movie is one. G.I. Joe the movie is.
I liked
Transformers. I mean, G.I. Joe the movie is definitely another that you have to watch.
Okay, and I won't mind sitting down and watching it sometime soon. I didn't never said I wouldn't watch it now.
Right, no. You gotta watch that. You gotta watch G.I. Joe.
Okay, I will.
Like Nemesis Enforcer. Okay.
The name is cold blooded. His name was
Nemesis Enforcer. Okay, all right.
Yeah, Burgess Meredith being globulous.
Yes, Burgess Meredith as globulous. Are you kidding me? Come on, dude.
He was so cool with it though, because it was like he would get hyped for like a second, and then he would just kind of chill it out in his delivery of his lines. He'd be like, "Nemesis Enforcer, take it away." I'm like, dude,
come on.
For that last part, it was so cool. It was like, dude, this is hilarious.
So you know how like G.I. Joe the movie, like Transformers movie had the Optimus moment? Like G.I. Joe the movie had an equivalent moment, except for, they kind of cheated it. They would like it was like because what was it GQ that basically because they took place a year apart they couldn't bear to break kids' hearts 2 years in a row.
No, it was the parental backlash of Optimus dying.
Okay, like, yeah, that's what it was. It's like
they were like, because they had already killed Duke. They literally were going to kill him.
They were going to kill Duke.
And then he went into a coma. Because Duke, you notice Duke did not show up in any of the early season 3 stuff.
No, he did not.
At all. Duke was killed.
Duke was dead. Dude was dead.
And then the Optimus Prime thing happened and kids was going into therapy and whatnot.
Yes, like, man. Yes, man.
Poor children's.
Whatever, man. I wouldn't do it. I toughened up. Saw it 9 times in the theater. I don't care.
Bruh, man.
I mean, that's cool. I'm just saying, but like obviously kids ain't ready for that. I mean, that's
you must watch it. Like even the junkies in the chat are telling you must watch this show. Even Tony Young, who will be riding my ass forever about Fifth Element, he said this is definitely worse than Fifth Element, sir. Definitely worse.
Yeah, okay. All right.
The movie has so much awesomeness and meme worthiness in it, man. You gotta see it at least once.
Like, you know what?
I don't doubt it. I will watch it this week.
Based off of me not watching Fifth Element for so long, and based off of you not watching G.I. Joe the movie ever, we're gonna make a show, right, in the future, and I hope you guys will all tune into this one. We're going to make up a show that list off the quintessential movies or things that you must watch to qualify to be a culture junkie. Like literally, these are things that you got to watch.
There's no such list, though.
I know there's not a list, but I'm just saying these are things that you definitely should put on your list to watch. Like to kind of like these are essential. These are required viewings. You know, I'm just saying. You know, and we can run the gamut. You know, I know a lot of these millennials, they hate watching old shit. Like I used to have to drag my kids to watch like some of the old movies or the old cartoons I would watch. Like when I showed them to them, they were like, "Wow, these are better than the ones that I've gotten." And I was like, "I told you." It's like we know.
So you got to start them off early.
Exactly. Anyway, I'm just saying. So anyway, guys, it's after 11. We've held you on for too long. We know, but we had an absolute blast talking about this topic, talking about the Disney remake stuff. We had a blast talking about Spider-Man Far From Home and our reactions to it. And obviously we spent like an hour and a half talking about our Saturday morning memories and the serials and stuff like that. If you caught only the tail end of the show, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and watch the replay of this very video. Share it with your friends too. We're probably going to cut it up in some clips maybe, because I think this might be one of the best shows that we've ever done, guys. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Folks out there, run it back.
Run it back.
Hashtag my Saturday mornings were the shit.
Oh, absolutely.
That show, so every show is good.
Absolutely.
Wow, every show is good because he's on it. That's how this guy rolls.
You're right.
That's how this guy rolls.
Well, I can't say I'll argue with that.
Right.
There you go. I speak the truth.
For real, I hope we brought a lot of nostalgia for everybody today. Hope everybody.
Oh yeah. I mean, because honestly, that's literally what our brand is. That's what our brand is all about. It's all about nostalgia. You know, like so if you love nostalgia stuff, you know you come to the right place. That's what we traffic in. That's our currency is nostalgia. So go ahead.
Here's another thing we didn't bring up. So remember on Saturday mornings, Sci-Fi Channel just show anime.
Oh yeah, I'm actually glad you said that because next week we're gonna delve into some to an anime show. Summer anime just started, and spring anime just ended. So we're gonna talk about some of our favorite anime show from the past season and look forward to what's coming up to this current season. Also, we'll also be talking about isn't there a movie that's getting ready to come out like in a week or so? Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, some other shit, something like that.
You talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's right. That's what's getting ready to come out. Ah, yeah. You know what? You guys know I'm not a huge Tarantino fan, but this one actually looks pretty good.
Culture Junkie.
Man, whatever, man. Whatever,
yeah,
man.
I mean, you know,
Look,
I
I like From Dusk Till Dawn. I love Kill Bill Volume 1, so I'm not a complete,
You didn't like
hater.
Django? You didn't like
I still haven't seen Django. I'm be honest.
Oh my god!
Still haven't seen
Oh
it.
my god!
No, to be fair, I can understand the reason to why not be in a rush to see Django, because it took me like 3 years to finally watch it.
Yeah.
What? Oh, the first came out. Shit, when they did those, when him and Robert Rodriguez did those Grindhouse movies, those are my favorite.
Machete and what was it? What was it called?
No, Machete came out. It was Death Proof and Planet.
Oh, Death Proof. That's right.
Planet Terror and Death Proof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planet Terror was straight chaos.
Yeah. Planet Terror and Death Proof.
And
Yeah.
Death
I might
Proof
watch
was
that right
deal.
now.
Yeah.
Death Proof was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, guys, we hope you all have a fantastic
Stuntman Mike.
weekend. We hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you come back and join us on our next episode of Culture Junkies Live every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. For all my friends, for GQ, for the Great Dad Akuji, who had to depart, Fallen Marvel, and Super Nerd Plus, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Bring all your friends back with you
Later.
next time, too. Make sure you bring all your friends
Yes.
back next time.
Bring your friends.
Share the show.
Hashtag my Saturday mornings with a shit.
Yes, they were. Tell all your friends and make sure that they know that Culture Junkies is the place they want to be every Wednesday. Peace out.